Futu is the yokai form of Nate Adams, the protagonist of the Yokai Watch series. He's an average kid, he died an average death, and his yokai has an average design. You'd assume he'd be average and competitive as well, right? He's anything but, actually. Well, not at all true. Let's get the worst bit out of the way. His stats are awful. They're below average, if that means anything to you. Nothing is good here, it's just all unusable. So, with these stats, how is he any good in meta? It all comes to his skill. Can you guess what they called it? They called it average. Fucking hell, like, it just we didn't get the point already, like. So, what does this skill do? It removes all elemental affiliation from all yokai, as the game states. This basically just means that elemental damage will always be neutral. This is a very, very useful quality on magic teams, specifically ones that focus in on one attribute. Any mono attribute team requires a Futu in order to keep consistent. Futu is C rank, so it can fit very easily in teams, and is mysterious, so we won't mess with your unity. There is another yokai that does a similar job but in a much worse and more niche way, Poofessor. Let's discuss Poofessor's flaws and why Futu does his things so much better. Poofessor's skill removes the element from all techniques. This seems like it would be no different to the skill we saw in Futu, but it's actually way worse in the fact that attribute boosting no longer works. Let's take this insanely easy, viable and basic water attribute team here. 5 Not So Long and a Futu. We have an EX Mysterious unity, since they're all mysterious, and 5 different water play boosts, totaling up to a 50% water damage buff for the whole team. Nothing can wall it because of Futu's removing of resistances. If we replace the Futu with Poofessor though, suddenly all your water play is meaningless as the techniques are no longer water based. It also breaks your EX unity. If you didn't know, unities of 4 and 5 are the exact same as unities of 3. You don't get any extra on that until you get the full mono tribe going. Poofessor isn't unusable, he is just much more awkward to build around, and I haven't quite figured him out yet. I don't see why anybody would actively choose him over Futu in 99% of teams, honestly. Futu is just so much better at his job. Poofessor should stay with the wheel and never sully our wonderful, beautiful grid that we have here in Yokai Watch 3. Essentially, Futu was created to fix the mistakes that were made in Poofessor, and we ended up with a yokai that pretty much every mono attribute team will use. What do you think of Futu? Let me know in the comments, and have a good day.